So, my name is USMC Little Walker, and I want to give a little bit of detail who I am and what I'm about so that people can understand a little bit about who's putting out these videos. I like doing videos because it keeps me busy, it keeps my mind occupied, and I just find it fascinating and very unique, trying to discover what's out there. Peace, tranquility, you can name it. There's many reasons why I do this, but those are the main reasons, just for peace of mind. So let me get into the story. I was with my brother, one of my older brothers, my best friend, and myself. We were coming back from the Portage Drive-In in Wood County, Ohio. And we were coming back, and we were on a road that's known as Portage Road. And on our way back, there's no lights anywhere. It's a pitch black road. The only lights you see are headlights. And in that process, we were coming home. I was 13 years old. There was a big, bright light that came out of, for a better lack of words, the sky, if you will, and shot down, like right in front of us, about I don't know, I'm just guessing, about a football field away, because it was pretty darn close. And it was so bright that it blinded, like we couldn't see, so my brother had to stop in the middle of the road. Now we were coming back from the drive-in, so it's about 1:30-ish, somewhere in there in the morning. And in that process, we have our hands up like towards the front windshield, because I was sitting in the front, my best friend was sitting in the back, in the middle, but in the back seat. And this was like a Plymouth that we were in, I believe. And my brother was driving. And we put our hands up to like block the light because it was so bright. But we couldn't tell anything other than it was so bright. And we're looking at this light, and it's just shining right at us, hovering above us about a good 100 yards, give or take. And we're all looking at this like, what is this? Because there's no lighting out here. And all of a sudden, this light hovers and starts hovering, starts to move a little bit, kind of like hovering. And then it immediately shoots towards the sky. And at that time, I'm positioning my body, it shoots to the left corner of the sky, and it is gone in the blink of an eye. I mean, it is gone. We didn't say nothing that day to anybody, because there was no one there that night other than us three. And we seen that light and always wondered what that was. Never knew what that was. You got to remember, I was 13 years old. And then finally, we got it. My brother put it back on drive. We left. No one looked at nobody. Well, let me rephrase that. We did look at each other. My brother looked at me. I looked at him. And we both looked at my best friend in the back seat. And no one said a word. And at that point, we looked forward. My brother put it on drive, and we went home. So that's my experience on, if you want to call it a UFO, or as they call it today, they're trying to change the name to, or they changed the name to Area Unknown Phenomenon, AUPs, or whatever they're called. But if in our day it was UFOs, just something we couldn't identify, something we didn't know what it was. But it wasn't a plane, wasn't a helicopter, wasn't a spotlight. There's nothing out there. And it was so bright that it lit up the area. And there was no cars behind us. Okay, so you would say, well, why wasn't there cars if you guys were leaving the drive-in? Well, probably because we always like to leave just before, like right at the end, so we're the first ones out, and we took a back road, and the drive-in sat just a little ways off, and it was called the Portage Drive-In, the drive-in in Portage, Ohio, back in the day. This is probably late 70s, maybe early 80s. I was 13 years old. And at that point, I realized, what is that's out there? I didn't understand. I was just a kid. Of course, you didn't want to tell nobody because you didn't want to look crazy. You didn't want anybody to think you were crazy. And so we didn't tell anybody. We came home. We never spoke of that day again. Me, my brother, or my best friend. We just acted like it just never happened. Fast forward, I became older, but that always stuck behind my back of my head, kind of always stuck with me. Always got fascinated with all the movies that were coming out at that time, Close Encounters and the Star Wars and all that stuff that was out. Battlestar Galactica, all that. And I realized that as I got older, I started realizing, I didn't think about it, but what had happened is I joined the military. I was in the United States Marine Corps. That's why my handle is USMC, Little Walker. I like to take a lot of walks. I like to just explore. And at that point, I realized, as I got older, that, you start reading clips and you start hearing stuff about Area 51, and you start hearing stuff about Dayton, Ohio, where if anybody's familiar with Project Blue Book first started, they were the ones that were supposed to debunk all the aerial phenomenons and UFOs. They're supposed to debunk it, that it wasn't real, or find a reason why. So I didn't understand really what it was. But anyway, I'm in the Marine Corps. I get older, and I'm watching a lot of stuff what's out there. I've always been intrigued with the skies, always been intrigued with the stars. I could sit there and gaze at them for hours end if I had the time back then. But I just found it fascinating, Big sky, it just blows my mind. Anyway, so long story short, I started reading and starting hearing things in the news that were breaking reports about little things, I think the latest one was the Tic Tac that a pilot had seen, and they named it the Tic Tac because it looked like a Tic Tac in the sky. And so I really started, and it took me back to when I was 13. And I asked myself, what was that? And it's like everything came back to me. And at that point, I realized I can't explain what that was. So I became very, very excited and very curious as to, hey, Dayton, Ohio is where Project Blue Book started. Area 51, all these sightings by military pilots and so forth, and pilots in general. And I thought, you know what? I wonder what that was that I saw back then. So I became very curious, and I started to go ahead and just started to say, hey, I'm going to do videos. I'm going to look in the skies. I've ordered some equipment to take pictures and just see, because there's times at nighttime when I'll sit out here, especially in the summer, and it is cold right now because we're in the winter. But in the summertime, we would stay out here with the bonfire and we would just look at the sky, and I would just see what looks, out of place. My dad, I don't know any real substance other than it's just the big sky. So I look for unique things that just don't make sense, use my knowledge in the military to try to get an idea of, the velocities. Are they jets or are they this or that? But at the end of the day, that's what got my interest. That's what piqued my interest. That's what put it back in my mind. What was that I saw when I was 13 years old? And I don't know. I truly don't know what it was. But I know it wasn't normal. Been on that road many times. There is no lights. There is no light poles or anything like that. It's a dark back road. That's all it is. And at that point, I just realized, could that have been something that I saw? Something of a, for better lack of words, a UFO / UAP / just something that I couldn't identify. So that's why I'm doing these videos. I do all kinds of videos. I go to different parks and cemeteries, and I go to trails and just different places, beaches, just because I like to have some peace and tranquility. I spent 4 years in Desert Storm. Let me correct that. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. I spent 9 months in Desert Storm. I was in tanks. I love what I did. And let's just say now I'm just trying to see what I see, enjoy what I enjoy, and I need that peace and tranquility. That's why I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of videos of all different types. But right now, I'm really trying to lean towards, the skies, the stars, because it's just been something that's always been on my mind. I've always liked it, but I never truly understood it. So with that, I try to make it as short as I could. I hope you watch this video, and I hope you'll, follow me. I'll be posting stuff on my YouTube channel, USMC Little Walker, and I'll be posting stuff on there. I'll be posting stuff on Twitter, whatever I find, whatever I see, and they may not turn out to be nothing. I don't know, but at least it'll keep me busy. So with that, I want to say thank you if you watched. I hope you like it. I hope you find that just a normal guy wanting to see what's in our big sky. So with that, I will leave you. Today's date is the 12th of January, and I had to think about that, and it's about 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. So please, as I post videos, if you like them, please hit like. If you want to subscribe to them, please subscribe to these videos. Doesn't cost anything. Just will help me and keep me doing these videos, especially if there's an interest. And all I can say is, do I believe there's something out there? I can't honestly say if there is or not. I don't know. I am a Christian, but I just don't know if there is anything out there or not. not until there's more proof. But it does spark the curiosity. It does give me the wanting to find out what is out there. So sorry about the dark video. It's just I'm at nighttime. I got my sensor light on, hoping that it'll give me a little bit of light. If you see my hat, it says United States Marine Corps on it, if you can see it. But I just want to tell everybody thank you, and I hope that you all have a great night. And this is the introduction to my walk in space, on land, everywhere I go. It's just my journey. And I hope that you guys, whoever listens to this, will also become a part of your journey. Send me questions, send me facts, send me information that you have, because I'm like a sponge. I like to absorb everything. So everybody out there, take care, and let's see what we can find in this big sky. Now I'm gonna point my up top here. Well, let me see if I can go ahead and get this. So this is what you're all looking at. Right now the skies are very cloudy, so we're not gonna see anything. They are very cloudy. There's no stars out, so I can't really show you anything other than to say it is very cloudy, but I will be posting videos in the near future. Just stand by, and I hope, get this, I hope that you will enjoy this, and if anything, send me some information. I would love to hear it. That's the train tracks going behind my home. So with that, Semper Fi, God bless, take care everybody, and I'll see you soon.